I have 10 winter fragrances in front of me, all under the budget of $50, hence why we're not in dress clothes today. We're in FrugalFlan attire. We're gonna go from this order to this order. It's not in price order, it's in like fucking aesthetic order. So starting off at number 1, we have Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. Now, retail, this is not under $50. It's been out for a while now. You can find it on every fucking Macari, every bloody place that you look for a fragrance, you will find it. You can even find them typically in my smelly water enthusiast community because there's a whole trade platform in there. But this is one to me that became really fucking big last year. I never got that something like this would actually be big, which speaks to where we are in fragrances now, because this is quite spicy, but I didn't expect this to be the mass appealer that it is. But if you shop around, you can get this at $50 if you still want that Spicebomb Extreme type of DNA. Now, if you're a bit more of a classy, maybe a bit older type of gentleman, this is Arabiyat Prestige Sear, and it has a hydro cannon on it. It is a room filling type of fragrance. It has a little bit of date. Harry will put all the notes over here throughout this. It has a little bit of date in it though, so it's a bit sweet, but it's still very masculine, and it just really projects well, and it really sets that I'm a wealthy motherfucker during the winter time of year. So very, very good. It's apparently inspired by Oud Credenza, which I can't find, so I don't know if that's discontinued or if it's just exclusive to some fucking shop. I've heard it might be a Harrods exclusive. I haven't been to Harrods in a while. Going on to this. This is Dolce Gabbana The One. So to me, this is an elite fragrance. The only downside of this is longevity is a bit lacking. So if you do, I don't think I have any around me right now, you grab a little decant on Amazon, the little ones that you get samples in at times, take a little bit out of that, you know, you can just pop it on there like that. You get a little decant on it and then you move on with your day. But it is a very, very nice, luxurious, wealthy type of fragrance. We're gonna smell like a fucking Neiman Marcus at the end of this. Well, I guess a Macy's or a shop. But this is fantastic. You could probably rock this to special occasions as well during the summer as like a date night scent. But in the winter, I think that's dailyable. So here I have a 2 for 1. So I guess there's 11, not 10. We'll start with this one first. This is Rayhaan Terra. So if you guys are familiar with Outlands, it's this like spicy, you know, incensey type of opening that dries down into this like, some people have said lemon cake, and I don't get lemon cake, but this like Gourmand, vanilla, ambery, beautiful fragrance. This is something that I actually was involved in the smelling of and helping them kind of pick the formula. It's not got anything to do with me. It's not a FrugalFlan edition or anything, but it's just something that I kind of had input on because I'd seen there'd been a few different people trying to do things like this, and I wanted a bit of input on what I thought people wanted, which was the original is just a bit too spicy. Unless you're an older person or you've been into fragrances for a while, or you've just been around spices your whole life, then you'll enjoy that. But if you're an older person, go and buy that. If you enjoy spices, go and buy that. But if you want to get to the dry down quicker, that's kind of where this comes in. So it's a bit more on that vanilla-y side quicker. It takes about 3 minutes to dry down versus Outlands, which is like fucking 30 minutes. But budget fragrance, I've seen it go for like $35, but retails I think at $45. And then on an even cheaper, if you're a leather fan, this is like a sweet Gourmand-esque leather. It's Rayhaan Cordova. This again projects and lasts ridiculously. It doesn't have the crazy pressurized atomizer on this one because it's a true OG. It's like $29 fucking though. These two, both are absolutely phenomenal longevity, which to me, I know that's a big thing, especially in the winter, because you're gonna go, you know, from here to there, job, you wanna stay on the clothes, whatever. Moving on, we have Dunhill. This is Egyptian Smoke. This to me kind of goes more into that fall type of fragrance. It's very smoky. It really is like this kind of like mysterious level fragrance. And Dunhill, super underrated. It's obviously a designer, but like very underrated fragrances. I think this is probably their best one for that colder time of year. Going on next, we have this, which by the time you see this video, I'm hoping it's out because I believe it comes out in November. This is Lattafa, Mamasa, as I call it. Black Intense with the snake on it. So I have a bunch of snake tattoos, so anything with a snake on it, I'm always kind of like, ooh, let me see that. But this is an original creation by Lattafa. And I think this, if Lattafa follows this direction where they put out original creations, super high quality, they actually patented an ingredient for this. I got to see it at Beauty World, this whole cool chocolate thing, but it doesn't smell chocolatey. The best way I can describe this to you is kind of sweet, very masculine, like man's fragrance. So like, I would wear this the same type of places that I would wear like a fucking Absolute Aventus, a Lyric Man by Amouage, just something that I really want to like make a statement. It, to me, even though it's cheap, I would say this is probably in my top 25 or top 20 fragrances right now. It's super unique, stands out, and I think they've done a phenomenal job. Moving on to this, which is Lutfah Light in the Heart by Arabiyat Prestige. So this, I'll let that stop for a second. I'm gonna grab this. This reminds me of this plus a fragrance that's not in this room right now. I'll have Harry put a PNG of the other one. So this reminds me of the opening of this, which is Altair by PDM, which is this very sweet, I mean, people absolutely adored this. This was probably the most inspired by like replicated fragrance last year. Very, very sweet, but for me, this gets really headachy. I get that headache right in the middle of my forehead if I wear this. It's one of those fragrances I like other people to wear, and I stand by them. Obviously this is very expensive, but then this dries down into this, I feel like the price is right girl, which is MFK's Grand Soir. But the problem with MFK's Grand Soir, to me, it starts off kind of grandma or granddadish, where it just kind of smells old, and then it settles down really nice, like warm, ambery, vanilla, very, very nice. So to me, it takes the best of both worlds. It takes this and this, puts it in together, and somehow it ends up cheap. But I will say with this, if you spray it on a tester, it does zero justice. This is one that has to go on skin for you to really understand how it smells. Now, moving on to what is an absolutely gorgeous fragrance, and the name makes no fucking sense. This is Incense 01 by Swiss Arabian. I'm running out of places to spray in this video, but Incense 01, I expected it to be incensey, and I'm not a big incense type of person. But Incense 01, what it kind of is this like vanilla-y with like a little bit of orange zest at the beginning. It is like a true gentleman's fragrance. This is again one of those ones that you could rock any special occasion, and people would assume you have a very high-end fragrance on, because it is. It's actually, I believe, the first fragrance house to come out of the UAE, hence the 01, and it's in 74, so they also do 74s, different fragrance. So watch out for that. I'm talking about 01. But very, very nice gentleman's fragrance. I've heard people call it like the fucking George Clooney of fragrances. I don't know what that bloody means. All I know is that when I wear this, I love to smell myself. Now, this is a cheap one that goes again with the projection thing. You know, we talked about long projection, fragrances that last. I'm not the biggest fan of this type of DNA when it's done by JPG, because I have, like for example, right here, the JPG Elixir. Now, for me, JPG has this like JPG DNA that is kind of like sweet lavender, which I just don't enjoy. But ironically, Afnan kind of have their own DNA. If you smell a lot of Afnan's fragrances, they have this Afnan vibe to them. So this actually replaces the sweetness there. It kind of skips it and goes to that Afnan thing, and then it is a JPG Elixir. But the thing that's phenomenal with this, which I think this is just a 9 PM thing for them as a whole, longevity is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like you could put on 4 or 5 sprays of this in the morning, you will still project to other people and smell like it in the evening. I'm not a big fan of that concept of like, oh, I can still smell it on myself. If I have to off my hand to smell a bloody fragrance, I'm not going to say that that's longevity, because it's just not, in my opinion. Now, finally, probably one of the most phenomenal wintry fragrances ever to come from a bloody car brand on top of it. We have Mercedes-Benz Club Black. I mean, it is this really, really, I need another fucking arm, guys. If anyone wants to volunteer to be someone I can spray during videos, let me know. But it's just beautiful, rich, gourmand vanilla. So this is probably the most gourmand-esque thing out of all of these in terms of truly edible gourmand, but that would be that. The longevity is okay. It could be a bit better. It's not like some of these, but it's also not like this where it's non-existent. But that's 10 budget ones. I'll do 10 expensive ones. We're gonna keep doing fucking long format, but I wanted to get used to you soon because, you know, in the words of that one motherfucker in that one TV show, winter's coming. Love you guys.